Okay, let's go to the home scene. Home. Hey, I think we got a green light. It's 3 o'clock or close enough. So, you know, sell the cat, lock the kids in the closet. Let's get going. One day I got to have a substitute teacher. Let's see who we got here. CAH, Fun Connor. Good to see you. Coin collecting and more. I got Hi Ho Silver, who's going to not throw spitballs. Ezekiel Rodriguez has joined us. Chris Hurley. A whole bunch of people starting off early. Just digging, maybe around. He came in early, probably in the bathroom. And that's what we have so far. We're going to talk about what makes a coin valuable, because a lot of people say, how much is this worth? Two primary questions. What is it? What's it worth? And different characteristics, aspects, and factors get involved in how much a coin is worth and what makes a coin valuable. There's Young Mugs Coffee Roasters. I'm going to give you a shout out in just a minute, Zeppo. Everybody get over to Young Mugs. He has done his homework. Young Mugs. I got to get a link put in for you. Let me, if I open stuff right now, it's going to slow it down. Okay, get over to Young Mugs, right? I can't point to that. Well, it's over there somewhere. He won the coin class a couple of weeks ago, and he made a video showing what he found. And we want to get everybody get over there and see that. It's coffee and coins, and I don't think there's a better combination unless you throw bacon into there. There you go. Coin Dragon has shown up. I'm going to guess that's the link to Young Mugs Coffee Roasters. That's Zeppo Young. You'll see him in the Coin Up Facebook group quite a lot. He puts up some pretty good questions, stumps us on occasion. But hey, he's got a good video, and it's a good start. So get over there and check it out. Who else has joined us? I got SJ is here, Cigar, Steve Garrett, Oldies is in. About time. We've been looking for you. And Cleveland Coin Collector, hello to you back. Crazy Maters Coins, your package has arrived, I hope. And Crazy Maters won last week's coin class. So your homework is to make a video as good or better than Zeppo's. Okay, we got 12 people watching. That's probably good enough. And I got a whole bunch of pennies over here. Let me put on my gloves first, because we're going to be handling some things. These are what you call your stewardship skills, right? These coins are only ours for a little while. Eventually they'll be somebody else's. So let's take care of them while they're in our care. Oh, that's a thumb. Let me try a finger. I put my thumb in them and it stretches them out. Especially if I put them on that thumb, because, I hit it with a hammer so many times. Ryan DeCone is here. Ryan DeCone, Madison. Young Mugs Coffee Ropers. A CBC, coffee, bacon, and coins. Not necessarily in that order. What would be your priority? I think bacon wins. Come on. Okay. Got a whole bunch of these. These are just 1957, and I don't know, 20 rolls of them anyway. I haven't actually gone through these yet. I intend to. Look for errors, look for buys, look for double dies, whatever I can find. We go through these rolls and we're looking for the coins that are valuable. And so many different aspects come into play. It could be just about anything. But here we've got a pretty brown looking one. Looks kind of normal. Let me see if I can pick out this one in here. That's got some doo-doo on it. Which one you want more? This one or that one? A or B? I mean, let's say the same date, same grade. This one's covered in doo-doo. Okay, we'll throw that one aside. You like the better ones, the shinier ones. Then you have things like this, which are, ooh, la la. We might have something. Okay, you start getting some perfect luster on an uncirculated coin. You might have some. Here's one with a little bit of redness. There's another one covered in doo-doo, and doo-doo is a technical term. Okay, now let's toss that to the side. Not much value in that one. Well, let's have a look at what makes a coin. Oh, look, here's something that really stands out. It's a steel penny. Yeah, I found some steels. So, all kinds of different things. This is made out of steel. It's not the same as copper. Copper has melt value. Steel, nobody really talks about the melt value of steel cents. Oh, that's no matter. Okay, let's get over to some cheat sheets. How do I make this work? I'm going to move this over here. And that'll shut down chat for a little bit. Let's see, and I go to the screen, right? No, I'm going to pause this, and this will speed things up, because if I'm not watching the stream, it picks up now. Where do I go from here? Oh, this is it. And then, yeah, okay. So we got some notes, and you want to take your notes, of course. If I do this right, I can probably watch and chat. All right, I can watch the chat, but if I touch the chat, it's going to screw up the screen. So let's look at what makes a coin valuable. First off, you got the rarity, and the rarity has a number of factors. It's not necessarily age. There are instances where an older coin is made, you know, in tens of millions. Let's say 1859 Canadian, they made 10 million of them. Whereas 1901 Canadian, they made 4.1 million of them. So age is not necessarily an aspect. But you start getting back there, you know, you got lower populations, smaller economies. They need less coinage. There are Greek and Roman coins out there, and you can pick them up for a pretty decent price, 30, 40, 50 bucks. Doesn't mean they're great looking coins. Sometimes they're all smashed up. But age, yeah, it's somewhat of a factor. What's more important is the mint mark and the date that's on that coin, especially with you know, more modern coinage in the past, say, 300 to 400 years. And Beth Coddington has joined us. There's, let's see, Jeff Watson, good to see you. John Bass. What's that noise? Oh, stand by just 1 minute. I think I have something going on the porch. I'll be right back. Okay, knock it off. There. Everything's under control. It's that darn cat. I thought it might be the mailman dropping some stuff off, but well, apparently some stuff that should have come here today went to Atlanta today. Okay, no matter. All right, we're looking at date and mint mark, and I'm going to give you this. There's a link down below. I hope there is anyway, which will take you to this spreadsheet I've got. And if I can find that, okay. Give it a moment. Okay, this is a coin inventory checklist. And can we see this up here? Yeah, there you go. And there's a link down below on this. It'll take you to there. It's got Jefferson, Nichols, Roosevelt's, Washington Quarters, Kennedy House, all that stuff. And I'm going to pull this off so it floats a little better. And that just totally failed. Stop doing that. There you go. And this is a Google document. Yeah, we can see that. And there's little tabs on the bottom you'll be able to find. There's a link. Just copy all that. Right? That's all I got to do is, and it goes on for like a week. However, in this checklist, I've added mintages to some of these. I haven't done all of them, like I don't have the Roosevelt times, but different series, different issues of those series will have different mintages. 1909 VDB, they made 27, almost 28 million. They made some proofs, 1,100 of them. And those MAT proofs are a whole lot more, worth a whole lot more than the VDBs. Once you start getting some smaller numbers, those coins become more valuable. 1913S, for example, 1914D, they made 1.1 million of them. They made, what number is that? That's a 75 million 1914s. So you got about 1% as many. Well, 1/175th as many. So the mintage is key, and the date and mark together will give you the mintage. The lower the mintage is usually a higher value, but not necessarily. There are always exceptions. Let me run back to the cheat sheet here. Another important factor is the surviving population. Now this is neat because you got to look up this stuff. So we'll go back to here. Well, that's not it. And let's pull up PCGS. Okay, now this is a 1909 SVDB. You know, it's one of the holy grails in the Lincoln series. And if I pull this down, we can see a better shot of the screen. There you go. You got to no, stop doing that. It keeps wanting to maximize. You get a mintage of 484,000. So there's not a whole lot of these to start out with, which is why they're in such demand. But over the years, they fall in the gutter, they get tossed in the trash, they fall by the way, they get worn to nothing. What matters here is the surviving population. There are 50,000 of them, and if you look in the red, brown, and the red designations, you'll find a few thousand more, maybe 62,000 total. Are we seeing all this? Yeah. So the 1909 SVDB, you got 2 million collectors, and you got 62,000 coins. Well, the market is going to come into play, and supply and demand, of course. He who has the gold wins. So they get a kind of a boost just because there aren't that many of them. Once you start getting into these smaller and smaller and smaller numbers, the price usually, but not always, escalates. And you'll see me talk about this in a little bit. Let me get back to chat for just a moment. If I can find my way home. There it is. It takes a moment to get loaded. And I'll let you look at these pennies for a moment and see if people will come in. We'll get 18 of us in here. Jeff Watson, hi-ho, part of it is Chris, but also take into consideration how many were destroyed. Yeah, a lot of coins over the years will be lost or destroyed. You get a hole in your pocket, a coin falls out. You have them on your desk, you move something, it falls into the trash can beside the desk. Move your trash can. But there's got to be piles of stuff in these landfills. But you're looking at, a needle in a haystack digging those up, and chances are they're destroyed by then anyway. But people will take the coins and they'll scratch their initials into it. They'll put a hole in it to wear as a necklace. Like a lot of these 1800s coins, the only silver you had was a piece of, a coin. If you want a piece of jewelry, you drill a hole in there and you hang that around your neck. And that was quite common, especially love tokens. You see a lot of holes in those. The surviving population is an educated guess. Now, PCGS derives their formulas, I don't know how, but they do have a lot of people with a lot of experience. And yeah, you're talking, out of 400,000 that were produced, 15% remain after 108 years or so. There are instances where they've been somewhat recorded. The 2-cent pieces, the 2-cent coins, they came out in the 1860s, and nobody really cared about them, so they made fewer and fewer every year. But in 1873, an act in Congress was passed called the Recovery Act, and millions of these were recalled and melted down, and they of course made more pennies out of them. But you're talking half of all of them that were ever produced were melted down. There was that big incident with a silver on the Morgan dollars, right, around 1900. They collected up all the Morgan dollars and melted them down and sold the silver to Britain or some darn thing. So that's why, you don't have a whole lot of those old Carson City Morgan dollars. You don't have a lot of lower grade Morgan dollars. A lot of them are in great shape because they were gathered up and melted down. And they melted down something like half of all the Morgan dollars produced before 1900. So there are instances where it is recorded, and you can say, oh, that's why there are so darn few of the things. And PCGS has, they got a whole lot more information than I have right here at the laptop to explain it to us. We loaned them the silver. Did we get it back? Because, we got this thing, they're saying the Queen wants the whole country back. That's no matter. Let's get back to my cheat sheets over here. There we go. Does it work? And screen. Okay, so your surviving population is a big factor in coins that have survived, because if they didn't survive, well, you're not going to collect them. But oftentimes the surviving population can be a fraction of the number that were originally produced. Okay, then you're looking at conditional rarities, which is another neat thing. Oop, that went away. Okay, 1914 D, for example. When the 1909 S and SVDBs came out, people said, oh, geez, this is going to be a rare thing. It's the first year. Let's collect them all. Let's save them. It's like the 2017 Ps. Everybody's hoarding the darn things because, they're kind of unique. So you're going to find a whole lot of 2017 P in outstanding shape in 50 years from now, if the zinc survives. But they didn't do this with 2016. So those kind of got lost by the wayside. 1914 D is one of those coins that just kind of slipped through the cracks. as a result, most of them went into circulation. A lot of them have wear, a lot of them have heavy wear. Now, by 1933, or by 1931, you'll find that a lot of the dealers and collectors of the time, because there were a whole lot more by then, had learned the lesson of the 1914Ds and said, hey, you know, this is a low mintage, let's keep them. That's why you have so many higher grade 1931S, and very few in good and very good and fine. Geez, if you can actually find a worn out 1931S, that's a rarity all by itself. So those were kept in high grades. The 2009 nickels, they're being kept in high grades. The 1909 S's and VDBs, a lot of them are kept in high grades. So let's have a look at some population figures for 1914D. Okay, and you should be able to see this. I'll drag it off. Okay, see, it keeps doing that. Why does it keep doing that? Okay, 1914D, you got 1.1 million of them. That's not a whole lot to begin with. Yeah, we can almost see this. Let me scroll up. There we go. You got 1.1 million of the darn things. And that doesn't want to highlight. You got a couple million collectors. Already you know, geez, there's not many to go around. But let's look down here at the bottom of these PCGS pages. And you're going to find their surviving population right in here, which also doesn't want to highlight. And you got 120,000 of them have survived. Well, that's only 10%. You get 1 million made, 10% have survived. That's pretty pitiful. It's a lower rate than the SVDBs. But let's have a look again up here. You're going to find the prices on the 1914D, even though you got 120,000. Where's the S? Oh, I think that still popped up here. Yeah, there it is. Here's the this is the SVDB, and you got 50,000, right? But compare the prices for, say, MS60 and MS64, and I got to slide that over. Here's a 1909S and 64, 2,000 bucks. All right, here's a 1914D in MS64, 4,000 bucks. It's because there are very few of those higher grades. It's a conditional rarity. You just can't find the darn things. Another one, another time frame is the 70s and 80s, where you have very few of these coins that are really, really high grade. Some of these dates, 1977 to say 1985, MS67 would be the best darn thing out there. I mean, you can get these. Ooh, what happened there? You can get a lot of coins in you know, MS69s. But there's conditional rarities in modern coinage that are, you know, you get 2 examples in MS67. That's the best you've got, and people are paying $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for these things. It's a 1977. All right, no matter. Let's get back to the notes. Okay, so the number of coins out there is usually a critical factor. It's often determined by age. You go back far enough, you're going to get rare coins, but your mintage of date and mint mark is pretty key, and your surviving population. All right. Now you also have design varieties. Let's see. The 1909, for example, they made, you know, however many million coins, but only a few million had the VDB on the back. You have the, let me get this out of here. You have the 1999s, where the wide AM design was produced in very small numbers versus the regular close AM design, and those draw a premium because it's a design variety that is very limited. Okay, next we're going to get into quality of the coin, and we got some pictures to look at. And we'll go home, scope. There's the scope. Okay, let's see if I can make this work real quick. You got, what do you got here? 1944, and it's a pretty common, you know, this one's in decent shape. It's not too badly screwed up. It's got a little bit of gunk on it. That's all well and good. But is this worth something? They made billions. I think they made like 1 billion of these 1944s. Now compare that to one with red-brown luster. Very similar condition. Oh, this is a night. Well, these were supposed to be all the same date. Just imagine that last one was a 1946. Okay, so the quality of the coin does have often one of the most significant impacts on the value of your coin. right? You start putting in uncirculated conditions with very few issues, you're going to have a more valuable coin. So let's compare that one to, say, this one. Alrighty. Now you've got the same date, only this one is clean, crisp, sharp. It's like a god compared to that. And that is like a god compared to this one. Condition, it's not everything, but it's nearly everything. Now, if you've got a high grade with a low date, now you're starting to talk some big money. Okay, but the tone, the red, brown, is it white? Is it silvery blast white, or is it aged up and kind of black and gray in spots? Is the tone even? Is the wear even? Right? Let's say I've got a good condition on the front, but the back is really worn for some reason. Sometimes they put these coins on, say, a washing machine and it vibrates a lot, or you put it in a drawer and it slides back and forth for 20 years, and one side gets worn and the other side stays beautiful. Or maybe they left it in place and just kept throwing something in, like their car keys on top, and they grab their car keys out and they throw them in the next day. So one side can be worn terrifically and the other side beautiful, spotless. So these are all kinds of aspects. We'll go back to the screen here. All kinds of aspects. Evenness of wear, the color of the tone, the original surfaces. You're looking at the details. Is there damage? A bump on the rim, a scratch across Lincoln's face. Does it have corrosion or holes? Is the surface unaltered? A lot of people, oh, geez. How many times you see a new collector says, should I clean this coin? And what you're doing there is usually destroying the surface, the original luster, the original appeal. And once you do that, you can figure those coins are going to have substantially less value. Common dates, just toss them in your call bucket. You can get some better dates, like a 14D that's been cleaned. Yeah, they still command a pretty handsome premium. Okay, composition, what the coin is made out of. Remember, we had the steel sent over there. Nobody collects steel for its metal value. Otherwise, the ends of all the pencils would be broken off. Gold, silver, platinum, all your premium metals, all your precious metals will draw a premium always. That's based on market price. You see people saying, hey, I need to buy, some junk silver. Well, the coin might be junk, but it's still worth the silver content. And there's junk gold coins out there, believe it or not. And they will draw the premium for their gold content. Copper, do you save the copper? You can't melt it down. Copper does not right now draw a premium because the laws are in place to prohibit the melting down of the copper. Will they ever change that law? No. The government's going to get that copper, not you and me. Okay, you got coins made out of aluminum. I had one back here. I wonder where that went. I mean, it's this big around. It's from like Zimbabwe or something, and it's light as a feather. Aluminum coins don't usually bring a premium for their melt value. Steel, forget it. What are you getting? 3 cents per 100 pounds or some darn thing? I think it's 30 cents a pound for steel. It would cost you more to transport enough steel to make money in the melt. But platinum's always good. Off-metal coins are really neat. We have a 1943 made out of copper, for example. It's supposed to be in steel, but somehow a copper plant you get in there, and you get like 1944s that are made out of steel, and those are worth, I mean, good money. Do I have that? 1940s. Here we go. Here's another. Let me move this over and not let it inflate. And it inflated. Okay. Here's a site I want to show you guys. We'll go back to the, oh, I'm on the screen. Okay, this is USA Coin Book. All right. And I don't have the link below, but it's just USA Coin Book. And you can get easy, quick information, all kinds of stuff at your fingertips. Just click the link and you look up a date and you can find all kinds of things. But the 1944 is supposed to be a copper cent. It should be 3.11 grams with 95% copper. All right. However, some steel plants it's got in there, so you've got about 30 of these, and they're worth good money. What are you talking here? $25, $30, $50,000. Yeah, good money because it was on the wrong metal. We're looking at one right now. It's a 1983 with a copper planchet, and we gotta find. What I need is a spectrometer so we can find out what the darn thing is made out of. Because if it is the old copper cent, it's going to have zinc mixed in the right percentage, and the spectrometer would show that up just by pointing it at the thing and taking a picture. Big money on these. What the coin is made of has a big impact on the value. Okay, enough of this one. Let's get back to the where is it? Oh, the cheat sheet here. Okay, we seeing it. Next, you have the eye appeal, of course. Is it a good-looking coin? The better looking a coin, the more money it's going to draw. You saw these guys just a moment ago. This looks good. It's in good shape. Okay, this looks better. But by God, this one just jumps right out at you. Alrighty? And the tone, the appearance, the eye appeal. Is it a pretty coin? A lot of those woodies have just a sharp contrast, bright, dark, good mix. It's a great looking coin. And that will draw it. But you have no way to measure this. It's a completely subjective measurement on the coin. So now it just comes down to the market factors. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Okay, let me take a break here and get into chat and see if there's anybody still here. And we'll let you look at those pennies again. There we go. Kryptonite. Kryptonite coins are worth a whole lot. I stay away from kryptonite, of course. Girls say I remind them of that. They made $1.5 million those 44s. 2009 mintages. 39 million 2009 nickels. And they're all in a big warehouse someplace because somebody's hoarding them. I think I have one. Where are they all? Good luck getting them out of a roll. I mean, you can pick through, box after box and not get a 2009. Yep, and watch out for doo-doo. Oh, I lost it. Okay, it scrolled and there's nothing I'm going to do there. Oh, Beth says smash the like. Yeah, that's great. But if you want to catch the class, right down here is a little bell. Okay, let me try to point here, up and down. There's a little bell. If you press that bell, that's even better than pressing the like because it'll show a little up here in this corner. It'll turn your bell red when I go to post a video or start a live stream, because I usually start this thing a little early so you can come on in. You get advance warning is what that is, but you get those notifications. And if you don't want to miss it, hit that. And if it says subscribe, press that, because it should say subscribed. So ring my bell. And we'll go from there. Okay, let's go on to the next section of this talk. We're on the screen. That's the screen. We go back over here to the notes. Okay, you got market factors. Market factors are, well, this is what makes the coin valuable. It's supply and demand. That's all it is. How many coins are out there? That's limited by how many are produced. Your supply, your mintage will, if they only made 1 million of the darn things, it's going to be a very limited supply. The more limited it is, well, the higher the price. Demand is the next thing. If you've got a lot of people collecting that coin, they're going to be more valuable. Now, 2-cent pieces, for example, you got maybe 65,000 total remaining specimens out of millions made because they melted them all down. But you don't have that many people collect those 2-cent coins, so the value, well, it's down below. You can pick up a decent specimen for 15, 20 bucks. For 30 to 50 bucks, you got a very fine to extremely fine. And if you want uncirculated, couple 300, it's yours, baby. No problem, because there aren't that many people out there collecting that series. So collector interest is a major factor in the demand. Let me go up just a little bit. But really, the demand is unlimited. There's no end to how many people will collect coins. So the general rule is, if you want your coins to grow in value, grow the hobby. Get more collectors out there. Now, Tim Rathjen has this app for a phone. You just take the phone and take a picture of your coin. It'll tell you what it is and what it's worth. And I see tremendous value in that thing. Um, Getting people involved in the hobby. Imagine an extra 100,000 people suddenly starting to collect coins. They're going to be wanting everything. The most common item, of course, is wheat cents. They skipped the 2 cents. I don't know why. It's a good coin, guys. Go get them. They're terrifically undervalued. If you pick up another 1,000 people collecting 2-cent coins, the price is going to go through the roof. It really is. What happened here? Killed that. Okay. Hype. There's lots of market forces out there. Mass media, they talk about a coin. Say the 1995 double die. When it first came out, these things were selling for $1,000 a piece. Now 30 to 50 bucks, maybe 100 or 200 for the really high quality demand, high quality specimens. But the media was all over these. You got to find these 1995 double dies that looks like this, and they show the picture. People look for them in the pocket chains. They found them. They sold them for $1,000 on eBay because it was getting attention at the time, and it's that attention that drove higher demand. So whenever you see a coin being talked about, 1982D small date copper, that's been in the news lately because a guy discovered one, and it's $18,000. So now in the social networks, Twitter and Facebook, Reddit, everybody and his brother is hunting these things down. So far, there's been one found, but it's the hype. It's the hype. The media says you got to find this coin, and they go out and look for it, but nobody knows how to identify the small date versus the large date. Nobody's got scales. Oh, by the way, I've got scales. We'll talk about that a little later. Whenever a coin gets into the media, snatch them up. I mean, today, because tomorrow the price is going to start rising as other people go out to snatch them up. Then you have novelty value. Some coins are novelties just because of what was done to them. Let's say those 1976 Kennedy Lincolns, where you got Lincoln has been stamped with a Kennedy. It's just a regular old common cent, but it's got that little design pressed into it. They're kind of neat. People collect them. They're good for $1, and you can find them in your pocket change. Okay, other things that add value. We've got design varieties, of course, the whams, the cams. Where's that dime? I got one over here somewhere. Let's go to the scope. If I can make this work. Nope, that's a widescreen. There's a scope. And Lee Hill wanted me to pull this out, and it only took about an hour to find it. Okay, a design variety is where a different design was used in a coin than was intended. Let me get these out of the way. And this is a 1970D dime, is all this is. All right, 1970D. Not too bad shape, decent. They made a bunch of them. However, on the back, we want to look at the flame. And there, I've got these grooves, these 2 grooves in that flame. 1970D didn't have grooves in the flame. They had them in 1968, but they didn't have them in 1970D. 1970D was flat. So this is a design. It's the equivalent of a wham, if you see it that way, where the wrong design was used in the back. Instead of wide AM versus close AM, this one has the torch with the grooves versus the torch with the no grooves. And these are starting to get noticed. People are learning about these, but 1969 and 1970, both the Denver Mints, that's when these showed up. And this is probably good, I'm thinking anywhere from $20 to $50. More is possible. We just don't have good solid figures yet. And once the market gets more of these traded, we'll have a better idea of what their value is. Okay. And let's go back to the screen. Yeah, there we go. So you have the design varieties. Next you have the die varieties. And I had one. Is that it? Yeah, here we go. I'm going to pull this aside. And you have, of course, your DDOs, DDRs. The trend is to classify coins and keep on classifying them until you've fully classified every coin out there. And here's a minor die variety. And people collect them. But you've seen the 1972 double die. That's a die variety. It's an error that occurred, but it occurred on the die, and they made, you know, thousands of the darn things. So if you can find that die variety, say an RPM, a repunched mint mark, then you have something of value. And some of these die varieties get into, you're talking hundreds of dollars. The 1995 double die, for example, 30, 50 bucks. They can get into, you know, several hundred. This is a 1957D. It's in great shape. And here's another 1957D. And it's in great shape. I got these out of the same roll. But let's get a zoom in. And we'll see that the die itself, without human interaction, something happened. And little bits of metal broke off on the 9 and on the 5. Now on the original one, they're intact. All right, so something happened in the mint, probably just a weakness in the die, and they broke apart. You get a lot of these in the 50s, 40s and 50s. A lot of times you find them in the in between the B and the E in Liberty, and that's called a BIE error because it looks like BIE. And they draw a premium, even if they're you know, looking like this guy. They're good for $1 easy. So keep an eye out for those. And these are die varieties. You can find these in your pocket change all the time. Some of them are quite valuable. And that's no kidding. People grab out these wheats, you know, they're worth 3-4 cents when they're in circulated condition. And they throw everything else back to the bank. And that's where the money is. You want to make some money, you hunt the die varieties. And that little difference here, this is probably good for $1. This is a minor die variety, these die chips. But there are other things that, you know, draw a substantial premium. And the list of die varieties is extensive. There are literally thousands and thousands of them just for the Lincoln series. Now I'm going to take a break here and get back to the chat, if I can find my way there. I think we got it. Okay. It was fun while it lasted, wasn't it? Everything's fun while it lasts. Yeah, and then they replace it with zinc. That's no fun anymore. What do we got here? Mudspot says, Beth, I started with coins when I was 18. Outstanding. I only knew about the 1943 copper. I searched hundreds of rolls looking for one. I thought I found one, put it in the newspaper, and I got dozens of calls. Outstanding. I hope it was copper. I was talking with a guy, he says, oh yeah, I got a copper coin. I said, yeah, me too, I found it on my couch. But he had really found one. So now I end up looking like, you know, huh? Well, anyway, I believe he did have it certified, and you know, you're talking 50,000 bucks. That's a nice treat. There are some coins out there worth big money. Most of the coins that I find, $5, $10, sometimes 20 bucks. Every now and then, a really nice one, 50 to 100. But most of the coins that I find searching these coin rolls, you know, they're $5, $10. You get a lot of dollars. For every 10 of those, you get a $5 coin. For every 10 of those, you get a $10 coin. And they are out there. There's not quite enough to earn a living, but geez, it sure is a lot of fun just to find them. And Rogers showed up. Good to see you, baby. Ray Chup is here. Yeah, those are some pretty pennies. The winner of today's prize will probably get those. I was going to mention that, Ken. Terrible skin condition. Oh, you mean to weigh things? Yes. Scale on your skin is a different thing. Get some of that lotion. You know, I put it on my backside that makes you not itch. It's good stuff, really. 70 proof reverse. I've got to look that up. I haven't given that coin, that dime, a whole lot of attention. Coin Dragon, to decide if I have it written down as the reverse of 1968 RDV002 and die number 203 is what I've discovered. It probably is the proof design on that dime. Ken, a few days ago, this is CoinHawk Seahawk says, Ken, a few days ago, you mentioned a man by the name of William Sheldon. What's the name of the book that deals with his numismatic activities? Geez, Sheldon did a lot of variety hunting, and I would really have to look that up. I don't have that information right here at my fingertips. What did Sheldon do? Sheldon did a lot with the large cents, I believe, but I don't have the name. You can go to coinpro.tripod.com is Ken Potter's website, and he's got an extensive library of books available. Get through it. Penny Whimsy, there you go. That's probably him. Travis Martin says, how do you tell a proof from a business strike? I got a 1968 S nickel with perfect stairs. Okay, I got an article on my blog, and let me give you this. I'll run over here and go back to the screen. Move this out of the way. Okay, and I've learned not to click on the link. Okay, 1 Million Pennies Project is the blog, and that's going to pop up again. Yeah, everything's going to be separate. Okay, this is 1 Million Pennies Project, and if you enter this URL, 1millionpenniesproject.blogspot.com, you can find all these articles. And I've got to add it over here on the right side. Let's see, we've got the cheat sheet, we've got the attribution gallery, update, whams and cams, coin shop. Okay, I got to get in there and add that. I've got an article about identifying proof coins in circulation. Ooh, I know. Let's go to the gallery, because I just added one yesterday. This fella found. These are coins people have found in their pocket change. All right. Stephen Ramos over in California pulled out this 1983 S. And if you click on that link, you can get to the article about proofs in circulation. This will slow things down, but there it is. Finding proof coins in circulation. You're looking at the texture of the surface. It's going to be mirror-like. The devices will not be mirror-like if they were after 1977. Before that, they can be either mirror or cameo. All right, you're going to have a square edge, and this is a close-up of the square edge. Usually, the proof cents are thicker. Here's a side view. This is a really difficult shot with what I have for equipment, but they're usually thicker. All right, we have other aspects to look at, but the S mint mark is usually the big giveaway on coins after 1974 in particular. Some issues had, some S mints before then, some nickels and some cents. But anything before 1965, it would have no mint mark. And then, now you're fighting with it because all kinds of coins have no mint mark. Okay, but really, take and bookmark that 1millionpennies.blogspot.com. You'll find it. I usually put it in the listing under these videos. And there's all kinds of stuff in there. Well, I've got to take a little time and do a video about the blog because there's all kinds of stuff in here. And it's handy. Let's get back to the chat if I can find my way home. No, is that it? That might be it. And if I can find it here. And we'll look at the pennies. Here you go. How do you get 30x loops? Go to eBay and say, hey, I need a 30x loop, and take a look. I've got 10x's. I ordered some 30s, and then of course I decided, let's have a look and see, and they are no different than 10s. These 30x's are 10x loops. They've just been printed 30x and sold to the masses. You've got to actually, take a look and compare the darn things. Now, if you want to get a Boston Lom loop, for 40, 50 bucks, by all means, go for it. But these discount loops, these $3 loops, they're 10s, and they just make them by the gazillion over there in China. Ken is a witty well of information. Well, thank you, Heavy Metal Silver. I'll try to maintain my comic relief here. Hello, Mudswat's here. Say hello to him. Crazy Maters Bay says, so as we evolve as collector, we learn to measure what will and will not collect. Oh yeah, absolutely. There's pennies I don't collect anymore. This one, I just, throw that out. Let's see, I picked through these, and I'll keep the AUs and the BUs. Anything, it's XF, I put it back in the bag, and, it's done the job for me. It's got doo-doo on it, don't bother. If it's damaged, just get rid of it. Sometimes I actually spend these wheat cents that are damaged and screwed up, just so they're out there to be found, and people say, "Oh, look what I have! Look what I found! I found this penny with some gorch on it." Okay, but they flip the thing over and say, "Oh, look, it's a wheatie," and they keep the wheatie, and then they're hooked. It's like drugs. Look at it. Try it. You can have one. Get them hooked, guys. You want your pennies to be more valuable later. Get people involved. Those, junky pennies that are, I mean, they're ruined. Spend them. Get them out there. They will never have numismatic value. Spend them, and the people that don't know will grab them up, and then they'll learn later that had no value. But they'll be involved in the hobby. Anything you can, find a trick. Give stuff, give pennies to kids at Christmas. I would give away, pennies at Halloween, but I have too much darn fun handing out corn chowder. Uh, but that's a neat thing, hand them a steel cent for Halloween. Drop that in. It won't rot their teeth. I mean, look what happened to me. I think I found a dime on a where'd it go? I think I found a dime on a Canadian planchet and a Coinstar slot. I hope you did, Victor. Get in and check. You can go to coinsincanada.com, and you'll have to look that one up, and that'll give you the weights of the Canadian coins. And the USA coin book, if I can bring that up again. How do I do that? I come back here, and I hit screen. There you go. USA coin book is a site I've told you about several times here. And it's just easy information at the ready. There it is. And let me bring that down so we can see it, and hopefully it pops up. Okay, USA coin book is the link, and it is the https:// and that'll give you plenty of good information real quick. For say wheat cents, it says 3.11 grams. It'll give them measures of weights, what it's made out of. Lots of easy access information. So if you want to find something out, in 2 minutes, you've got it. It'll give you the mintages for 1919 S is 139 million. This is how I cheat on Couch Collectibles. He says, how many 1947 S's were made? And I've already got this page open for the Lincolns. So I just, or for the wheats, for the nickels, and I just copy and paste. He says, man, he knows everything. It's a parlor trick, really. Okay, let's go home. And let's see. So, Victor, compare that dime you found with the weight of a Canadian planchet. If you don't have a scale, I have scales available. These are $7, and we can play with that. They're digital. They're accurate to to 2 decimal points instead of 1, and they'll take a 200 gram. A couple of silver dollars, 200 gram capacity, so you can stack them right up there. If you don't have a scale, they are handy. Coin collecting, you collect coins, you collect equipment, you collect books, you collect all this stuff. But collect the good stuff. Don't collect a scale that has 1 decimal point. It's not quite accurate enough to make a determination, because it's going to be off by half a gram. And sometimes, the difference you're looking for is less than that. So go to 1/100th of a gram. Get the loops. Get the right loops. Start with a 10x. You want a good one after that? Spend the big money. I'm not going to be bothering shopping for 30x loops because I got stung already. Come on. I got them. They say 30x, but they're 10s. But if you don't have, this is probably the king of tools, is right there. A 10x loop. You can see and find all kinds of things with just that. It's $3. It's $3 shipping. Scales are 7. You get them together, $9.50. Still $3 for shipping, and they're pretty darn handy. Let me know. There's my email address if you want to order some of these, because it's a must. And the scale, maybe you can wait on that until you find a coin and sell it for $7. Yeah, you just got a free scale out of that. We'll go from there. Okay, let's keep on going with our notes, because we got just a few more things to discuss on the value of a coin. Go to screen. Yep. Okay, so we covered the die varieties with those, the die chips or the double dies or RPMs and such. There are things that will add value to the coins that are errors. In particular, the coin that Victor was just talking about, where an American coin was done on a dime planchet. Well, probably if this happened, somebody threw a Canadian dime in there, but it comes through and it's got, the weight of a Canadian, but the design of an American coin. Yeah, that would be an error. There's an example where two coins go in at the same time and get stamped, so there's nothing between them. So you get a coin that's got the reverse but no obverse. That would be an error. And there's all kinds of errors. Now, errorref.com, you'll see the site posted in on my blog in the key information websites. You'll find a link to errorref. Go in there and read every single article in there. It's really dry. It's kind of slow. There's not a lot of character development. But if you want to learn about errors, that's the place to go. Okay, let's talk about screwing up the value of a coin. All right. Yeah, they can be valuable, but there's things that take away the value. If the coin has been cleaned, a lot of these chemicals will alter the surface of a coin, in particular that finish. Silver is pretty much non-reactive, but copper is a highly reactive metal, and it will react with detergents. You take a beautiful, shiny, brand new 2017 P, put it in your jeans, wash them with detergent in the machine, and you're going to come out, and that's going to be an altered color on that. Any coins that have been altered, they pull a mint mark off of one coin, put it on another one. No, that's not a 1909 S. That's a 1909 with an S mint mark from 1928. No, that's no good. It's totally destroys the value. Now it's a forged coin. It's an altered coin. It's a counterfeit. Those are useless. Anything that's been damaged, you drill a hole in it. You scrape it with a knife. You carve your initials into it. You stick it in a vise and squeeze it with another coin. You hit it with a hammer. It's done. It might still have face value, but it's it's screwed up. It's bent. It's holed. They're no good. Go and send them back to the bank. Geez, I get these rolls. You swear they've been in somebody's toolbox for 5 years, kicking around in the back of a pickup truck. What you want to do is preserve the value of the coin. I got my spelling in there. Okay, and this comes down to good stewardship. Really, they're not our coins forever. They're just our coins for now. Later on, they'll be somebody else's coin. So let's handle them correctly. Wear those gloves when you handle these beautiful BUs, okay? Because you only need to handle that once or twice. Slip with your finger, and you put a fingerprint on it. In 10 years, 20 years, that's going to be a hideous spot. These bullion and circulated coins, there are very, very few of them in reality. Once you go back 30, 40 years, they've been handled several times. Sometimes they've had their gloves on. Sometimes they picked it up by the sides with their fingers, and sometimes they just, grabbed it like that and rubbed it with their finger. Oh, I hate when I see that, when they rub it with their finger. Drives me out of my mind. I got to stop watching. Okay, safe and effective storage is another key aspect here. Handle them right, store them right. These good stiff flips that are unplasticized, these work great. People like the Mylar, and they're pretty good, but it's very, very thin Mylar. I mean, you're talking, what, 4 mils compared to the thickness of this guy. This will take a pounding. I can beat this with a pen a few times, and I won't mark the coin. If I hit that with a pen a few times, I can damage it. But this keeps it at least safe from dust and a lot of slides. But if you're going to store them, take pliers and crimp down these staples so your staples aren't rubbing on the coin behind it. Because that's just, it's a good way to kill a coin. I want staples out of my life altogether. And the best way to preserve the value of your coins is promote the hobby. And that's the whole point of this class, is to get people learning about it, involved, get them asking questions, try to come up with good answers to their questions, help them get the right equipment in their hands so they can do those things that they want to do and collect coins. It's a lot of fun collecting coins, and it can be rewarding. And if you want to take it all the way, you can make a living out of this. Buying them, selling them, trading them, doing that sort of thing. If nothing else, you can pick up additional income on the side. I know one girl, and all she wants is the money to pay the mortgage. That's all she wants. She's got her down payment saved up. She buys them here and sells them there. Slowly she goes through rolls, finds things and sells them. And all she's doing is saving up for her down payment. And she wants to make enough to pay that mortgage. For this place, it was $500 a month. This place is rather affordable. Now you get in these metro areas, they could be, $1,000 or $2,000 or how much you want to spend, really. Let's say you only made $300 a month selling coins. Geez, that's a truck payment. I mean, that's a dependable vehicle. There's a lot you can do with it. Take it as far as you like. Let's go back to YouTube. And let's finish off in conversation. Oops, I'm screwing this up. Go home. Yeah, there it is. Now we can see the talking over here. It's me, Brian, has showed up. Good to see you, baby. So, Beater, as far as your question, start with pictures and start measuring it. And you can determine if that coin is something different than what it should be. Young Mugs, that's Zeppo. I spent $10.50 just to get people thinking about a coin. Outstanding. That's a good way to do it. I spend quarters because I can look through them and I can get rid of the quarters real easy. Go get a tank of gas. Here's a roll of quarters. Get coffee. Here's a roll of quarters. Is that all you got? Yep. Okay. And they use them a lot. If I want to go in and buy groceries, taking in a bucket of pennies just doesn't really work. And Ray Napa's joined us. Good to see you. And we're all caught up. Okay. You got any questions, or is it test time? Where's the book? I give all the young people coins, cousins, friends. I can't keep a buffalo. I got nephews. I can't keep a buffalo or an Indian head in the house. It's hard. They got a great collection of buffaloes and Indians, but they're all low grade. The real nice stuff is over here. Shh. Don't tell them a thing. Today we're giving away, if I can see what you're seeing, Coin Clinic. This is by Alan Herbert. It's 1001 frequently asked questions. This is a good one. Not much for pictures in there, cartoons. I usually just look at the pictures on these things. But if you read it, there's all kinds of good information in here. Oh, let's see. Here's a question. Oh, I lost my page. Here's another question. Why were so many gold coins struck in the U.S. between 1922 and 1928? And the answer, the high volume was due to the demand in other countries for U.S. gold to back their currency. Okay. It's handy. You set this in that room over there with a chair in it, and you sit there, for 10, 20 minutes, and, you read a little, and then leave that room and leave the book. But it's a great book. It's a little bit dog-eared, but it's in fine shape. You can see there's no writing in it. Okay, you get the book. You get a scale. Okay, so you can put a coin on a scale, and you can weigh it. Isn't that great? And then you can, go to these sites I showed you. You can find out the stats on that. We're going to do a loop. It'll say 30x, but it's actually a 10x. And that loop is the handiest thing. We're going to throw in some of these plastic flips. Now, this is because Beth Coddington has supported this channel, right? You want more giveaway stuff? Send more money. And, well, actually, there's a link down below that says PayPal. And if you want to see more stuff and support this channel, yeah, we'll give away bigger and better stuff and more of it. Okay, so the question for today, if you want to pass the test, are you ready? Is everybody ready? Are you ready? This guy's talking about tar and resin. Yeah, and there's Beth Coddington. Yeah, she's been supporting this channel, and definitely check that out. We got that penny over there. All right, this here steel. It's not made out of copper, right? Not made out of aluminum. But steel is different from copper. What is the normal weight of a steel penny? And that's in grams. First person to get that question right wins all this good stuff. And I showed you the answer earlier. What is the proper weight of a steel cent? And I'm going to pull this up. Let me scratch my nose. Where is it? I got to find it. Okay, I'll go the old route and just go straight at it. Oh, and then I want to show you something else. Man, I don't want to forget that. I'm going to write that down. Okay. Because I actually have to look this up myself right now. So if somebody sees the right answer, just kind of grab it. And I'm going to pull this up and make sure I get this right. What is the normal weight of a steel penny? There it is. I'm going to come back to chat now. And the answer is in front of us. We have an answer. Can everyone confirm that Just Diggin has the right, is the first one with 2.7? Ray Hepburn has 2.7. Heavy Metal Silver, Steve Goering all have 2.7. On my view, and I can show you this right here. There's the screen. On my view, oh, I can't do this. I gotta pull it off. Let me disconnect it, and it'll do that. And I can change this and move that over, and that's what I see. There you go. But we have, what do we have? He's here. There it is, right there. Just Diggin at 2.7. So Just Diggin, I need you to get a hold of me at this email address and send me your shipping information. And if you don't want this stuff, say something and we'll give it to somebody else. Okay? Because you got that stuff coming. Yep, looks like it's Just Diggin for me, says Chris Hurley. Okay, let's have a look at something else. Now that you've learned about, what makes a coin valuable, what happens when you have an anomaly? And here's some neat stuff. Okay, I'm going to take you to the, does this work? So congratulations, Just Diggin. Well done. You'll love the package. I'm going to throw some pennies in there too. Why not? Oh, the name of the book is Coin Clinic by Alan Herbert. There it is. And I've given away some of his books before. He's gone now. He passed away. But he was collecting coins. There's a story. That's what he looks like. He's been collecting coins since '63. He passed away a few years back. It's a good book. It's not a thick one, but it's full of stuff. Just full. Get these coin books. They're great stuff to give away. When you're done reading the book, rather than stick it up on a shelf, give it away to the next guy. You can write your name in it and just pass it around. Because once you read it, you're going to remember most of it. Just give it to the next guy. Get him involved. That'll be fun. Okay, let's have a look at something real quick. You're going to like this one. Remember the 1909 SVDB and the mintage on that? I'm going to move stuff around on the screen here. Okay, 1909 SVDB. That's this one. All right, now you had 484,000 of the darn things were made. I can get that. That's how many were made. Now, if you look at how many are left, that's down here, you got 50,000 left. And if you add up, the red browns and the red examples, it's about 62,000. And there's your prices for these grades. How many, auction history. I mean, you're talking for MS63 brown, $1,500. And they usually, focus around that for, oh, I can barely almost see that on the screen. There you go, MS63, $1,500. All right, and you have the 1914D, which is this page, and we can look at the mintage there. All right, it's 1.1 million, a little more, but you don't have a lot in the higher grades, so that's up there, right? But you got 120,000 surviving, right? Now let's follow this one. We got 1911S, and I've been telling you where to go. 09, 14, 44. What's this one? No. Okay, I've lost my way. Let me find it. 1911S. There we go. I'm going to pull that down. And this is a neat one. If you look at PCGS population figures, and can we see it? Yes. 1911S. And we'll go to brown, because most of the coins are going to be brown. Now, first off, you have 4 million made, right? And that's a lot made. So you look at the surviving population, 400,000. No, that's 40,000. 1% remain. Well, that's fewer at 40,000 than the 14D over here. I've lost. Okay, at 120,000. So is this an anomaly where there are very few 1911S's, fewer of these than there are 14Ds? Because they are hard to find. If you shop for one, they are hard to find. but their prices, you know, they reflect a far higher population. MS63 instead of $1,500, you're looking at $270. So this could be an error. Maybe there's a decimal missing. All right. If there is, it's still pretty low mintage at 400,000, or a low surviving population. But if it is accurate, then these would then be terrifically undervalued. They must go up in price. So do we grab them up and snatch them up just in case? Well, if we did, it wouldn't take long to beat that supply, because there's only 500,000 to work with anyway. Okay, something to look at. You can compare these figures for yourself. And where did that go? It's gone. I've lost you guys. Did I shut off chat? I might have. No matter. But you can check out these mintage figures. On the 2 centers, you'll find them to be very low indeed. And the prices don't support such a rare mintage. They should be far in excess higher than that. And we know why. We know that there was a big melt in 1873 where all these 2 centers were recalled. But the total for the whole series is fewer than the 1909 SVDB. There aren't that many people collecting them. They must eventually go up in price, because, you know, we're going to add some more collectors here. Oh, let's find out. Don't forget to like and subscribe, says Amber. It's about time you got here. Where you at? Oh, family and all that. That 11S was the S mint. So yeah, 40, 50,000 surviving. Is that number accurate? If it is, those things should climb in price by a factor of 10. They want to catch up with the 14Ds and get ahead of them too. Should be a way to turn off that mirror. I kind of like that mirror effect. Here's my screenshot. See, that's a screen of my stuff here, so I can click, you know, here's the home. So I go to home, and of course you can't see that because it goes off the screen. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let's go back home. You making shirts? At the coin. Oh, Amber's at the coin show. Get me something. Give me everything. I don't care what it is. And you got a few goodies out of there. Okay, we hope to look forward to seeing that sometime in the coin up to show off, or the coin up sales group to sell it. All right, folks, let's call it good here. Listen, tomorrow at 3 o'clock we start the big show. Now you can actually enter today or any time you like. Down in the description you have a link to PayPal. It's $1 per entry, and the more money comes in, the bigger the prize gets. We've already got about $70 in entries so far, so we'll be getting that off to a pretty good start. Yep, PayPal, PayPal.me/KPV. And I should be able to find that. I lost my mouse. Oh, let's see. Here it is, the big show, Sunday 3 p.m. This is in the description down below. It's $1 per entry. Any entries can be sent via PayPal. And to make it easy, you've got a link there. It's http, just www.paypal.me/KPV, but you have to spell it right. You really need to pay attention to the spelling. If you don't spell it right, this other chick gets it and she don't want to give it up. So just click that link on the PayPal me KPV, and that's the best way to get entries in. You don't have to wait a month to get your money back from Kimberly. I'm sure she's a nice girl, but maybe she needs the money. I don't know. So Beth has sent to PayPal. We thank you for that. Send a little note with that if you wanted to, support the coin class, so I can get more giveaway stuff. Send me a note. And if you want it for entries specifically, I put it for entries. If you don't say anything, I'm gonna call it an entry, and we'll go from there. Kim is such a mooch, isn't she? God, I gotta meet her. She's probably like, my age, smoking hot, blonde, can afford to keep me in the manner to which I'm accustomed. I so need a sugar mama. Tom Kimsey from Warner Robins is at the show selling. I don't know if Tom Kimsey. I don't get out much. I probably ought to get out much. I didn't even hear the show until 2 minutes ago. Well, probably heard about it, but I had a lot going on. And Beth Coddington loves me. That's all I need. Okay, guys. Stop in tomorrow. If you have questions, comments, funny things you want to show me, send me. Chris Hurley, you sent me a photo of a Lincoln cent, and I had just a bear of a time trying to get that image open. But I can't tell anything from the images as far as the issue that you mentioned. I can't open them for some reason. It's the way this darn thing works. Okay, Just Digging has sent me my his shipping address. I will get this out probably Monday or Tuesday. It depends on when I get into town, but usually Monday's a pretty big day. Several people have paid so far. Oh, and if you have a large invoice, if you could just send that along. I've got a lot of invoices that are outstanding right now, and it sure would be handy to help me catch up on some things around here. Every now and then I just sell so much stuff. Well, all my resources are tied up. So if you could do me that favor, I'd love you forever. I'll throw in one of these wheat pennies. How about? Yeah, Just Digging got a good little. And you want? And Shay says sign the book. I'll sign the book for Just Digging. Just Digging. When you're done, sign it and wrap it off or give it away to the next person. And your homework assignment will be to make a video of this stuff that you get. And you're going to have some stuff in there that you'll have to identify, right? It's just going to be a coin in a flip and good luck. But I'm not sending you any pocket change. Everything that comes is going to be neat. But you can see Ms. Zeppo Young had a video from last week, and we got to find that link for that and post it here in the comments. Oh, you'll get it. I'll get you the T-chip. That's real pretty. Where's the scope here? See if I can find that scope. All right, where's the chip? It's one of these shiners. I can't see really. There's one. Yeah, I'll send that along. And oh, I'll send that along. What's this one? And there's a regular one. I'll send that along. And here's a big one. And of course, yeah, this is my signature item, so I'll send that along. Why not? Get those things that are neat. I got to get a CFA T-shirt, coins for amateurs. I'm gonna send him some stuff, and he's gonna send me a T-shirt. And I'll wear the T-shirt. So then you got to get one. Everybody got to get one. Get yourself a Clash guitar pick. Get one of those things and keep it nice. Collect something from every channel, with their distinct character on it. That'll be a neat way to go. We have a whole, coin community collection. So I'll do these. I'll do the copper rounds. You can just collect those easy enough. Send $2 plus shipping. Or geez, you get the whole roll, because they got a bunch of them out there. That's kind of neat. And you collect the books and sign it and ship it to somebody else, and you collect everybody's signatures eventually. Of course, it'll be all ratty and dog-eared by then. Chris Hurley says, thanks. If I wore the 55 DDO shirt you designed, and Amber designed it, he must be talking to Amber. I'm so vain. It'd be as large as a silver dollar. I'm going to need a XL for sure. I sit down a lot lately. I used to be kind of active, just running around chasing guys. Hey, pick up them tools there and get to work. So now I'm getting, the belly that goes with the white hat. And Crazy Mater Bailey, okay, I'm gonna give you superpowers, Alan. There you go. Crazy Mater's Bailey, you now have superpowers. Post your link to that video, and I'll make sure everybody. This doesn't ship out until everybody here watches, likes, and comments on Crazy Mater's Bailey's video. Yeah, that's how it works. That'll work. Well, okay, it'll go up Monday. But get over there, and he's going to post a link to his video shortly. I'll check it out. Absolutely, I'll check it out. And I've got you on the live stream and video directory. 6XL? Man, how big you're going to be? Okay, well, there's a $50 holla, guys. I suppose 6X might be needed. Okay, guys, let's all have a great day. Get out there and find some pennies. Happy hunting, good luck, and stay safe more than anything else. I still gotta wait for Crazy Maters to post his link, but it's getting to the point I gotta use that bathroom again. I always have to end these things to use the bathroom. Sometimes I just stand up and go. Back with it. I'll be back in 20 minutes. Glad you liked the stream. Next week we're going to get into something else. I want to talk about slabbing and when that's appropriate, because a lot of people say, "Is this worse? Should I get this graded? Should I get this slabbed?" And really, look, if you can't figure it out for yourself, no, don't get it slabbed. You're just going to get ripped off eventually by someone somewhere. Adult diapers might do me good. I can't enter your competition because you will reveal my secret identity. I will no longer be able to fight crime. Well, just figure something out. Okay, it's time for me to get going. I still have to pack up stuff from yesterday. This desk is a nightmare. But some of the stuff I get to pack in envelopes. Watch last night's Midnight Madness. There's still all kinds of stuff. I have a 1911S that is unclaimed, by the way. If you want to see that. Let's put that in here. And can we see it? No. Now we can see it. Is this 1911S? It is still available. It is in fine condition, and it is $40. And watch last night's video. You can see all the rest of these pennies, and a whole lot more. And I can put this under the scope. Let me bring the slide over to it. There we go. I don't have to handle it so much. And we can go over here to the scope and move this out of here and slide that in. And that's a 1911S. And it is in fine condition. Bit of woody grain. We'll go all the way around here. I did this last night with, 50 different coins. And we can look at the back right up close. A bit of a discoloration on this. But for fun, I think she's right in there. Look at the weed ears over here. Nearly complete, some weak spots. And the berries are well detailed. We can zoom out. Yeah, I got all kinds of stuff from last night. The 76 package is gone. I got all these rolls of 50 different wheats, but there's no steels. It's 1940 to 1958 PD&S. So it's 51 in there. And I'm going to make sure there's a 55S BU, and those are $5 a roll. I can open them, but it's going to look like, all those pennies we had before. But here you can see the discoloration. And that's on the back. I don't know what caused it. I don't know why it's there, but there it is. But the condition of the coin, as you can see, is quite good. The rim is sound. There's no major marks and contusions. I mean, it's a real decent fine. F plus really is what it is. And for a $20 bill, yeah, it's hard to go wrong. Especially if there are 40,000 remaining specimens. And the price on that was $40. I'll put my email up right here. Right there, if you want to order something. Watch last night's show all over again. There's plenty of things available. But hurry, because the first one to call voices, they got dibs. And let's see who's saying what. Just Digging is our winner for the day. And I got to write that down. Sometimes I don't write it down. I got to watch the whole show all over again to find out who won. Oh, yeah. It was Zeppo. It's like 2 days go by. I didn't look it up. Just Digging. I'm glad you won, baby. Talk with you all the time. And Beth, please report to the principal's office. All right. That's got the day. That's got the show for today, for this week. Gets better every week. We got 28 people watching. You're watching for the whole show. You guys are doing great. This is how we make the coin community better. Don't forget to share the video in your social groups, your social networks. Hey, look, here's this guy. He's got this, his eyes bug out. He talks about coins, but they can learn how to collect coins, and we go from there. Guys, stay safe.